In a small town in Texas, there lived a boy named Ethan. He was intelligent, hardworking, and had big dreams. However, there was one habit that often got him into trouble. He talked too much. Whenever he learned something new, he couldn't keep it to himself. One day at school, Ethan gathered a group of friends during recess. With excitement shining in his eyes, he said, "You won't believe it. I've decided to learn how to code and create an amazing app. It's going to be a huge success." His friends looked at him with admiration. "Wow, Ethan, that's an incredible idea. You're going to be rich," one of them said. Ethan smiled, fueled by their enthusiasm. He loved that feeling. The attention and praise made him feel like he was already on the right track. The problem was, after talking so much about his plans, he almost never followed through. Over time, Ethan kept sharing his dreams with everyone. He wanted to start a YouTube channel, train for a marathon, learn a new language. But every time he spoke about it, he felt a false sense of progress. The problem was, after announcing his intentions, his motivation to act faded. Until one day, his math teacher, Mr. Johnson, who had been observing his behavior, said, "Ethan, have you ever wondered why some people succeed while others only? Talk about success." Ethan shrugged. Mr. Johnson smiled and continued, "Let me tell you a story that might help you understand. Long ago, in a distant village, there was a farmer named James. He always worked in silence, never telling anyone his plans. While other farmers discussed their future harvests and boasted about their ideas, James simply plowed the land, planted his seeds, and tended his fields without making a fuss. His neighbors laughed at him. "James, why don't you ever talk about your plans? What are you trying to hide?" He just smiled and kept working. Time passed, and while others were distracted, talking and making empty promises, James harvested the best crop in the region. Then the same neighbors who had mocked him began to ask, "How did you achieve all this?" And James simply replied, "My actions speak for me." Ethan listened carefully, and for the first time he questioned his own habits. Could talking too much be the reason he wasn't making progress? He hesitated for a moment and then asked, "Mr. Johnson, do you think I can still change?" The teacher smiled and said, "Of course, Ethan. It's never too late to change. From today, speak less and act more. Let your success make the noise, not your words. Remember, silence is powerful." That day, something shifted in Ethan's mind. He decided to try something new. He would keep his plans to himself and focus only on execution. At first, it was difficult. He wanted to share his progress, but he resisted. Over time, he noticed his energy was being channeled into what truly mattered, the work. Months later, he had built his app, started training consistently, and learned Spanish without anyone knowing. And then, something unexpected happened. "Ethan, how did you achieve all this?" his friends asked, surprised. He simply smiled and replied, remembering the legend, "My actions speak for me. If you have dreams, don't waste your energy talking about them. Work in silence. Let your results speak for you." But here's the real challenge. What if, starting today, you decided to keep your plans to yourself and focus only on taking action? Try it for a week. Don't tell anyone what you're going to. Just do it. And then see the difference. Now tell me, are you ready to let your actions speak for you? Comment ACT if you accept the challenge, and if you want more stories that bring deep reflections and real change to your life, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message.